She used to be Britain's most photographed woman. Every headline, every magazine, every scandal, it all led back to her. But today, Katie Price walks into small theaters, clutching a pillow with her and Harvey's faces on it. While a judge tells her to stop spending money she doesn't have, the question now is brutally simple. Is this the final act of Katie Price's fame? Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe if you love deep celebrity stories that go beyond the headlines. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Let's begin. Once upon a time, Katie Price didn't just dominate the tabloids. She was the tabloids. From page 3 pinup to reality TV royalty, from red carpets to the jungle, she built a multi-million-pound empire on one thing: herself. But empires built on chaos eventually crumble. And now, the cracks in the Price brand are showing deeper than ever. Last week, Katie stepped out in Stockport, another stop on her chaotic live tour with Carrie Katona. She smiled for selfies. She laughed with fans. She looked taut. Not the carefree glow of old, but a face pulled tight by years of surgery and struggle. And behind that smile, a very different story was unfolding. A bankruptcy court had just ruled that she must hand over almost half her monthly income to pay off her debts. 40% gone every month. A second income order has now been made, meaning multiple companies linked to Katie will keep sending money directly to the trustee until 2027. And that's just the polite version. The truth is, Katie owes the taxman hundreds of thousands of pounds. She lost her mucky mansion. She's been ordered to slash her spending and warned that her so-called extravagant lifestyle can't continue. Think about that for a second. This is a woman who once sold out arenas, had her own perfume lines, books, reality shows, and horses. Now she's being told how much she's allowed to spend by a judge. And yet, Katie Price still smiles for the cameras. It's almost like she can't help it. The fame instinct, the addiction, it never goes away. You see, Katie has built her entire identity around being watched. Even when the world stopped watching, she didn't stop performing. Podcasts, TikTok lives, she'll talk to anyone who'll listen, even when the attention turns cruel. It's tragic and brilliant all at once. A woman who was made famous by the media, now desperately trying to survive on its leftovers. But what's most shocking isn't the money or the surgery. It's the complete collapse of public sympathy. Once people pitied Katie, now most just roll their eyes. Every new headline feels like déjà vu. Another bankruptcy, another boyfriend, another operation, another comeback. And the truth is, Britain has finally grown tired. The Price machine, once unstoppable, is now running on fumes. Behind the scenes, even close friends whisper that the tour is small time. 50-pound tickets, patchy crowds, Carrie Katona on stage beside her. Both women selling nostalgia, both fighting the same ghost of fame. It's like watching a rerun of early 2000s celebrity culture. Live on stage, they joke about tabloids, they reminisce about chaos, but under the laughs there's something sad. Two women who once owned the headlines, now living off the memory of them. And yet, somehow, Katie keeps going. You have to give her that. She is relentless. She's been declared bankrupt twice. She's lost homes, cars, businesses, even her driver's license. But she always comes back, each time a little more altered, a little more defensive, a little more desperate. But she comes back. And maybe that's the real secret of Katie Price. She's not famous for what she's done. She's famous for refusing to disappear. Still, even the most stubborn flame burns out eventually. Because right now, Katie's audience is shrinking. Her finances are collapsing. Her kids are growing up and quietly stepping into a different kind of spotlight, one she no longer controls. Princess Andre now has her own following, her own career, her own identity, polished, professional, well-spoken, everything Katie once was, and everything she no longer is. When Princess appears online, the public reacts with warmth. When Katie does, it's mockery. That's the brutal truth. Her daughter has replaced her in the public imagination. It's hard not to wonder if Katie sees it too. When she looks in the mirror, under the filters, under the makeup, does she recognize herself anymore? The surgeries, the chaos, the endless reinventions, they were meant to preserve her fame, but they've only made her more unrecognizable. There was a time when Katie Price felt unstoppable. Now she feels untouchable. Not in a glamorous way, in a lonely one. And let's talk about the courts, because these hearings aren't just paperwork, they're humiliation. Each time she skips a payment, each time she fails to appear, each time the judge reads out another failure, it's another piece of the Katie Price legend chipping away. Incredibly, her own companies had to make payments for her because she didn't. Over £124,000 was sent to her bankruptcy trustee from firms tied to her name, just to keep her out of deeper trouble. And when the judge said she'd lived beyond her means for too long, he wasn't wrong. He said her spending had exceeded her income purely because she'd adopted an extravagant pattern of expenditure. Translation: she spent money like she was still famous. So what's next? More theater tours? More podcasts? More plastic surgery? Or is there finally an ending here? One last chapter where Katie Price steps away from the cameras for good? Because every star has a peak and a point of no return. And if you look closely, Katie may already be past hers. Even her former friends have moved on. The tabloids don't chase her anymore. They wait for her to post. Her ex-partners have found calmer lives. Her old mansion, sold. Her fortune, gone. All that's left is the performance. A woman on a stage, selling stories about a past that no longer shines. It's strangely poetic. A life that began under flashing lights, ending under theater spotlights, dimmer, smaller, quieter. But maybe that's the way it was always meant to end. Katie Price was never built for longevity. She was built for headlines, instant, explosive, disposable. And for 25 years, she gave Britain exactly what it wanted: chaos. Now the chaos has come full circle. The judge's orders, the debts, the endless reinvention, they're all part of the same performance, one that's starting to feel like the closing act. And yet, here's the twist. Katie loves the stage. She needs the audience. So even if the fame fades, she'll keep performing. Not because she's desperate, but because she doesn't know any other way to live. There will always be another show, another headline, another exclusive, until the lights finally go out. So, is this the end of her fame? Maybe not yet. But it's definitely the end of her illusion. The illusion that she could keep living like the old Katie forever. The illusion that scandal equals success. The illusion that fame can't die. Because for the first time in her career, it's not the media chasing her. It's the debt collectors. And there's no airbrushing your way out of that. So tell me in the comments, do you think this really is the final act? Or will she find one last way to stay in the spotlight? And if you love deep dives like this one, make sure you hit subscribe, because the next story is even wilder.